Welcome to Frank and Honest, where we're sometimes frank and always honest. Our goal is to cultivate happiness through curious conversations. This voice you're hearing now is Allie.
This is Tiffany, or Tiff, but we are all about health, happiness, and having a good time.
Welcome to the Frank and Honest podcast. Today is extra special. Mm-hmm. We have Nadia Scow here with us, which is very fun. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit different than some of our prior podcasts because this is all based upon an experiment.
Yeah. Do you feel like we say that a lot? This is a little different than some of our other podcasts.
Well, it's because everyone is different.
I know. It's kind of fun.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yes, the experiment. Do you want to share some about the experiment?
Yes. So, Tiff and I don't have children. So what we like to do is utilize other people's children for our fun experiments and thoughts. So Nadia here helps us with some of our stuff at home. She helps do our lawn stuff. She's awesome. She's rad. So this one day, I was chitty-chatting with Nadia, and I was like, so what's happening? Are you on social media? What's happening with that? What's the deal? And I think what you said, you couldn't, the rule was you couldn't get on social media.
Until I was a freshman in high school.
Until you were a freshman in high school. And I thought, oh, whoa, that's interesting because this was before she got into high school. So I was like, hey, will you do an experiment for me? Because clearly I don't have my own kids to experiment on, and I feel like that should be a fun part.
Well, and we know your parents too,
yeah.
So you know, and they said that we could do this.
Yeah. Seriously,
that helps.
Yeah. So the experiment was, so the question was, can you wait to get onto social media until after the first trimester, right? And then second trimester, if you want to get on it, get on it. If you don't want to get on it, still don't get on it, and we'll still rock this. And then we'll come in, we'll interview and see what it is.
Yeah.
Is that a pretty good synopsis of that?
Yep.
Okay. And really I really wanted to do this with Nadia because she's like smart and she thinks and she is.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun. And like I said, we don't have teenagers, and so I don't really know how their brain works. So it's kind of fun. It's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So we were really stoked that she said yes to this fun experiment.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now here's the recap of how this experiment went.
Yes.
So, one of my first questions is, did a lot of your friends were they active on social media before they got into high school?
A few of them were not, like I had one or two that had some social media, but not a lot of them had it. So.
Is everybody on board with like don't get social media till you're in high school?
I don't know, because like some of my friends still don't have it because their parents won't let them get it till like they're 16, or some of them have had it since like 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. So you've got the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is great for our experiment and our data.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's start with this. Because once you get in high school, like you have friends, but you also have this whole gambit of people that do you think most kids in high school are on social media? What do you think?
I think a lot of them are, because it's like when people like make up the new words and like the things to say and everything, it's like everybody's saying it, and if you don't follow up on social media, you don't know what they're saying because you just don't understand it. So
it's like when they said like skibbity,
you
were as lost as I was.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, but then you pick up on it just through like hanging out with your friends or whatever. But it is funny because when I first saw skibbity on social media, I'm like, I had to watch a video of what it means, which is so ridiculous. Yeah, so we'll have to dive into some of those because you probably know a lot of those, which is very fun. But social media, so we're talking about like Instagram, right? So I would say our generation, Allie and I's generation, there's like generational changes in how people view these social media platforms and what they mean. So we use social media for a variety of different things personally in our business. But from your perspective, that's probably a little different. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what is social media to you?
I don't know, because it's something you can watch things on like when you're bored, but then you get addicted to it, and then it's like you're just wasting your time on it. But then like for my older siblings, like they were always on it, like that was their whole life. And then it's like me and my friends, it's like something you would like, if you see a funny video, you can send it to your friend, and then it's like that's it. Like you don't talk about it or anything. Like,
yeah.
And then like my siblings, like they just talk about everything that's on there, and I'm like, what are you? I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, interesting. So just relating, like
Yeah.
relating to siblings, friends, and knowing like terminology and language too.
Yeah.
Because language, I mean, you look in the Urban Dictionary and there's just several like strange words. I come up with words myself, but it's always funny
She does.
to see, different generations. And some of the stuff's cyclical, but a lot of this stuff is like, we have weird words when I was in high school that same thing happened in
Yeah.
just a different language, and how we relate to it. Because I didn't to kind of give some reference here in this stage is Allie and I just turned 40. Allie's 41.
I am mature. I am almost 42. Did you know that?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
No, right?
and you're a freshman
Uh-huh.
this year, and you're what, 15?
14. I'll be
14.
15 in April.
15 in April. So it's kind of fun to see. I mean, I don't think about age ever. Like it's not something that's
We
ever in the
don't.
forefront of my mind. So when I talk to you, you're just another human. But then you look at life experience and social media and how we use it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What were some of the things when you first started high school and you weren't active on, the gram, as the kids would say? Is that what the kids say?
Oh yeah, what do the kids
No,
say?
the kids don't say
They
it. What
just
do the
call it
kids say?
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. So
This is why we talk
gonna
about
be great.
generations.
So the Instagram, who calls it the gram? Old people?
I think you do.
So did you notice any differences in the way that you would interact with people or go about your day versus people that had it
Well,
or kids that had it?
I don't like there were some differences. Like a lot of the other kids like would use more of the like weird words, and like a lot of us didn't understand it because like they would like just see it everywhere, and then it just becomes a thing, and you just learn to live with it, and then it's like it's normal
Yeah.
after a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because the language you can say a whole sentence in some of these strange words
Yeah.
that are made up that it's literally a whole entire different language. It's like speaking Spanish if you don't know Spanish.
yeah,
How much do you think that conversations and this is hard to judge. So I'll just say conversations that kids have in school is centered around things that they see on social media.
oh,
Like-
I don't know. I think it's like for the people who are on it more, it's more like that's what their conversations are centered around. But if it's just like they're on it sometimes and like that's about it, then it's like they know how to have a normal conversation
Yeah.
about anything.
So are these conversations here's the thing, I don't know what other people see on social media, and
Yeah.
nobody really does. But then, so is it like what's cool, or is it like, hey, I saw this and we could try this and maybe we could change the whole world because we could invent this new thing? Or is it like, hey, I'm going to wear my pants this way and cut a hole in this
And now it's cool.
because
and
so and so said it's rad.
I
No,
think-
nobody says rad. That's young.
Right, yeah. Well, it'll come back around though. Give it another 10 years.
I think it's all of them because like depending on what like your feed is, it's like some people think like they'll talk about it like we should try this, like people who like post on TikTok and everything, like some of my friends like they like they'll get together and they'll like make TikTok dances and stuff
Oh,
and
yeah,
post those. Or like if you I don't know, kind of just like if you see something and you think it's cool, like some people will like copy like hairstyles or like like clothing styles and everything because one person did it.
Yeah.
So then it like they think everything that person does is like
It's
cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Yeah.
brings the riz.
Yeah.
Good one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, feel free to drop some of that. 'cause
I don't
You
use
don't?
any of that. No.
This is so wonderful.
Me neither. Can you tell?
What is Skibbity?
I don't know.
Okay.
good.
Okay.
I don't
this
know.
is good.
John, do you know what Skibbity is? John doesn't know either.
I've watched a video with, speaking of social media on Instagram, where, it's a parent and a kid and going through this dialogue,
Oh.
explaining what the different things are. And it is hilarious.
It also goes in and out. It
Yeah.
doesn't rent too much space in
When is
between
Riz?
layers.
I think that one's just
Riz is
nice.
just fun.
I really like that one.
And it has like a positive connotation. So
And it, like
I it.
charisma, like it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense. Some of
yeah.
them I don't really understand how the word even like came about,
Yeah.
so it's hard to relate to, especially coming from like, well, that's not my regular language. I don't speak
Yeah.
social media ninja language. Um,
Nope.
yeah.
So, okay, so the first semester, did you feel like you were missing out on anything?
Not a lot, no. Like some people would like our school posts the like basketball games and everything, like the themes, and I wouldn't ever know what the theme was.
Oh.
So I was kind of missing that a little bit. But I could also just like ask friends or my family like what it was. But then like some friends like they post so much on Instagram, and then it's like you know almost everything you would want to know about one of those people just from going through their story. Like,
Would you say that, so of your friends that you have, and I guess even yourself, of your friends that will post about these things, and you say, well, they post so much that I know so much about them. Would you say that what they're posting is an accurate representation of who they are in human?
not well, some of it is like some of it it's like they're posting like they'll post funny photos that's like reflects who they are like in person.
Yeah.
But then other times it's like they're just posting a picture so that they can say something.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's just funny
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like honestly, it sounds like a lot of what adults do with it. So far, it's doing its job. So you don't really feel like you missed out on anything?
Not a lot, no.
Do you think that do you think that since you've gotten on it, that you're more connected to people in real life, or less, or no impact?
I think it's like both, like, cause I feel like it's like more connected a little bit because like I know more of like when my siblings are talking about things, or like when like the seniors and stuff in my classes are talking about things, but it's also like I'm a little bit more disconnected because it's like you get focused on being on there, and then you just waste time and you don't have time to get things done or go do things.
I think it's fascinating how, and it happens to all humans. Well, I'm assuming most humans, but you get on, you're scrolling.
Yeah.
Right? There's a bunch of funny videos. Like for me, this is like shark videos and dog videos, scuba diving videos. But everybody's feed is different. But it is with that, man, I forgot where it's going. Just a second.
It is true, though. I'll look over. I'm like, how many dog videos is
That's what it is. It's the tunnel vision. It's the tunnel vision associated with it. So you're scrolling whatever, and I think it's fascinating because you're looking at this thing, and you could have like a gorilla walk by you, and you wouldn't
notice.
Yeah. So the disconnection, I think that hits the nail on the head because that happens to all humans. But because you're in high school, and as for influence, most people have social media. So let's talk about that. So social media for you is Instagram, TikTok.
I don't have TikTok. I have Instagram and YouTube and Be Real and Lock It.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with those last two.
Is Lock It?
Lock It, you can take a picture and post it, and then your friends can like send emojis to react to it, or they can like send you a little like message like reacting to it, and then they can like send pictures back.
Oh, okay.
And you can like choose who it goes to.
Yeah. What was the other one?
Be Real.
What's
Be Real.
So
I've heard this.
Have you?
Rachel mentioned Be Real.
Oh gosh.
So
look
it
at
goes
us.
off once a day, and
Yeah.
you have 2 minutes to post, and then it'll take a picture from your front and back camera, and then you just hit send, and your friends can like react to it,
Oh,
and you
that's
can
kinda
see
funny.
other
Because you're
people's.
being real, because what are you doing right now? So
Yeah.
if it went off right now and you took a picture, people
Yep.
would see your face with these headphones and...
Oh, that's funny. And you only have 2 minutes.
Yep, you only have 2 minutes, and then you can post it late. But then you can't post like if you post it on time, you can post 5 other Be Reels until it goes off again. But if you post it late, you can only post 1 more.
What's late? Like you have this.
After the 2
Like
minutes
after
is
the
up.
2 minutes.
Oh.
You know, it'd
gotcha.
be advantageous to
Interesting.
post late because then you wouldn't be on it all the time.
Yeah. I
But if-
posted
yeah.
I posted late yesterday at the basketball game, and like that was it. Like I only ever post once a day.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Keep that up.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those. Well,
Be real.
now
I only
do,
know.
but
I only
yeah.
know because I'm down.
You're hooked.
Yeah.
You're very. What's a good word
I'm
for
in
this? You're hip.
tune. I'm
You're hip.
with
Um,
the
whatever
younger generation.
The younger generation probably
Clearly.
wouldn't call you hip. But,
I
but other people will get the point.
Yeah. Other people are probably like, "Who are these two ladies? They don't know anything."
Yeah. Right.
So now here's the big question: are you gonna keep it?
Oh. Yes.
I think I would. I think I would like. I like it. I would keep it,
You
but
keep-
I need to like set reminders like to get off.
and boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boundaries.
like
Yeah.
Because you've said it. You said it, I think, 2 or 3 times already, the phrase waste time.
yeah,
Mhm.
it does
So from your point of view, how much time do you think people waste on it?
a lot. Like for me, it's like I'm on there and I could spend that time getting my homework done, and then I can like go do things with friends, but instead I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
So
This is why
and
we
you're not
picked
even
Nadia.
aware of it.
Yeah.
You hear how she said I could be off of it and get my homework done? That's why we picked her.
Yeah. See, responsibility.
Responsible.
Yeah. All those that are listening, take a lesson.
Yeah, because that's kind of the thing is how much does it take over? So you set reminders. Do you think that? So I don't know what to call it. Like getting sucked in. Do you think that's a? Because you'll hear parents say all that we just hear other parents talk, and they're like the kids on their phone all the
Yeah.
time. From your perspective, is it just the kids on the phone all the time? Is it parents on the phone all the time?
Ooh,
Do you see
yeah.
other adults the
Oh,
same?
this
It's,
is
it's
good.
all of it. Like all the time, like when you're just like walking around, like kids are on their phone in the hallways, but then the teachers are on their phones, and my parents are always on their phone. My dad is annoying, and he'll turn it up all the way, and so you can hear it from the basement while he's upstairs in the kitchen. And so it's like we'll tell them we'll say, "Hey, Boomer, put your headphones in," because he listens to it so loud. And so
That's hilarious.
yeah, and then, like
It's
we'll-
only funny because we know Jared.
I love it.
And so like my mom's on it sometimes, but normally it's just like she's like when she's getting rid of something, she'll post something on like Facebook or Instagram trying to sell it
Oh yeah.
instead of just like getting rid of it completely.
Yeah. Totally.
Or like she'll like she is normally only on there like and she'll look at like games and stuff like that we can play as a family and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But she's not on there a lot, but then like other like my friends' parents and stuff, they're always on there. And so like when we're at their house, it's like their parents don't even know we're there.
Oh,
Because
everybody's just sitting there and playing. on their
everybody's
phone.
just on their phone.
So when
Yeah.
you're walking down the hall in school right now, what is it? Does it look like everybody's just walking, looking at their phone, or can you have like I don't know what the rules are now? Can you have
Well-
your phone out? Like
You can have your phone out. You just can't have it out in class. And so some teachers make you put it up at the front of the classroom in a phone caddy.
oh wow,
And that a lot of people don't like it. I don't like it because it's like if something were to happen, I can't go get my phone
yeah,
because it's at the front of the classroom.
yeah,
But like if like other classes like in my first star, like we're allowed to have it with us and we're allowed to listen to music as long as we're like actively participating.
Doing your
So
stuff.
you can be
Yeah.
responsible. Like if it's
Yeah.
just like anything, right? If you have a clicky pen in class,
Yeah.
you're not you. Though.
Yeah,
you would
I'm
never
a
do
bad clicker.
I can't give her pins. when
Yeah,
we're
like
doing
get that pen right there. Oh,
No danger. This has to go over here because even if it's here, it's like ooh, what?
Yeah.
guys, my click finger is so fast.
But it's
though.
like a fidget stick, you know.
Yeah.
Like we're all guilty at one time or the other of
Mm-hmm.
like I'm waiting in line for a thing and I open up Instagram and I'm looking at stuff.
Yeah.
And there's not really any value added to what
Yeah.
I'm doing. I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But so I want to. Allie's brother Paul, he is a teacher in California,
Mm-hmm.
and we just saw him recently, and he was saying that
it was over a break.
over like Thanksgiving break or Christmas
Yeah.
break, he was asking his students. He's like, so on average, how many hours of screen time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Did
pulled
you-
up their screen time during
Yeah.
their break.
And what did he say? Like 13?
14 hours.
That's a lot.
That is right.
That is a lot. Like
Yeah. Right?
I can understand like 2 or 3 hours, maybe even like up to 8 hours, but
Yeah.
that is a lot.
That is
Yes.
a lot, right? And again, it's over break, so
But
you're like,
still,
it's
that's a lot.
But
It's like
so,
every waking minute.
if you're
Yeah.
saying you add that up, I'm like, that's more than that's like 2 full-time jobs in
Yeah.
a week, and and
That's
it could be a variety of things.
So now my
but-
new question for you is to get and not right now, clearly, because we're doing this, but to see like what's the screen time and specifically on social media apps, I'll say,
Yeah.
because like my screen time, you'll look at it and it'll be like
Oh,
5 or 6 hours. I'm
Yeah.
like, what was I
but you were
doing
working
for
out
5 or 6
using
hours? And it's my workout
Yeah.
app, it's my Spotify,
Yeah.
my maps,
Yeah.
that stuff.
message.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm really interested in the social media thing because it is designed to take your attention and for you to be
Yeah.
a consumer, it is,
It
and it's
is.
really good at it.
Mhm.
So that's something that I think will be interesting for you to ask other people. What is it during the week? What is it on the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know mine. So, like, my mom has screen time limits on my phone
Smart
that she
mom.
can control from hers.
Good job, Jen.
So, I have 2 hours on like all social media apps combined.
Okay.
And so like most of that, like I'll watch like a YouTube video or two, and then it's like I can watch Disney Plus if I want. But then once that 2 hours is up, I can't get on YouTube, Instagram. I can't get
any
on
of them.
any of it
Okay.
unless I ask my mom for more time.
Okay, so like Disney Plus too, like
Yeah.
watching TV,
Yeah.
really. Watching
It'll
TV,
shut off
social
after 2
media, just
hours.
entertainment type
I gotta
stuff.
get somebody to lock me out. I need, maybe Jen will do it for me too.
Well, it's good to have the boundaries. I think that
Yeah.
the part that's really, really important is the self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're scrolling on social media, you lose self-awareness.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you're tunnel vision, you're in the thing. But to have your own boundaries, because it's nice that the phone will remind you, like, hey,
Yeah,
you're done.
like it'll send me a 5 minute, like 5 minutes
A
before
warning.
it shuts off, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be like you don't have more time.
yeah,
in
so
5 minutes.
make it worth
So
it.
either be done or
Yeah.
Get what you want out
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
on the flip side of that, so social media in those platforms, I think, are really good if you use it for good.
Yeah.
It can also go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to see the other side,
It
the
is.
negative side, which, I mean, we all know what that looks like. It's yucky stuff. It's
Yeah.
mean stuff. But on the flip side of that, you can also use it for good. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Or I try to
That's
do.
the attempt.
Or even just the different things that you're interested in can change your feed and it can
Yeah.
impact you. So I'm a huge on like thoughts or things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're spending 2 hours scrolling about, I don't know, like some political issue or something
Yeah.
yucky, not to say that politics is yucky, but there is a yucky side to it.
Yes,
Um,
there is.
and if you just get focused on that, then your feed's going to be
Mm-hmm.
yucky. But to the flip side of that, you can also go to the other side. So it's fun to set those boundaries and use it for good. But the thoughts are things. So if you are putting 2 hours of just crap in your brain,
Yeah.
then it's also going to carry over into your thoughts throughout
Mm-hmm.
the day. So that is
That was my other question. I asked one of our teacher friends this. I'm like, how much do you think it influences behaviors and conversation? But
Yeah.
how much do you think it influences your thoughts? Like how
Yeah,
often
like-
do you catch yourself thinking about that thing you saw over there that had nothing to do with your reality?
and you're like in math class, and you're like, oh, and you're just thinking
Yeah.
about this other thing. That
Like, I don't know. I think it's like a lot of people. I don't think about a lot of the things I see on social media. Like if I see it, like I see it. If I like it, like sometimes I'll like it, and then like I just scroll. But then like for my sister, like she sent me 27 in 2 hours one time, and I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How do you have time? I was bowling with friends, and I didn't have my phone on me, and I look at it, and I have 27 notifications of
Yeah.
her sending me
Yeah.
reels,
yeah.
and I'm like, how do you have time to do that?
Maybe she's just that good at using it. You know, the
Yeah.
practice of it. Because it would take me probably 2 years to send people 27 reels. But she's probably just good at it because she's done it with repetition.
I think
Um,
so.
Do you think that it makes people happy,
Oh,
social media?
I don't know. Like I think it makes them happy in a sense that like they are able to just entertain themselves and like just have something to do. But I also think that it's like kind of has a negative impact because it's like you see one thing and then it's like if it's a negative thing, it just like impacts everybody because then you know it, and then like if somebody else sees it, then obviously would have around the same kind of like reaction to that, and then it's like that's it. Like everybody's almost everybody's seen it, and then it's like everybody just knows that one negative thing about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens really quickly. I mean, in the past, when you think about language and communications
Yeah.
and the evolution of the human, like it used to take a really long time to get a message from like here to Europe.
People used to chisel things in stone,
You know,
for heaven's
to
sake.
give some perspective. So now you can send a message on like
Anything.
anything
On anything.
on any platform, and it'll get to somebody across
In like
the
2
world.
seconds.
right?
Yeah.
Which is insane. But what I'm tagging on to what you're saying is that communication happens quickly.
it does.
And some of those things on a positive side, you can really be like a really positive influence to something. If it, everybody's like, oh, did you see that really cool thing that person did?
Yeah.
Or did you see that sweet shark video where like Ocean Ramsey was pushing the shark with the nose? And I'm like, that's all I think about. I want to swim with the shark. But there's the flip side of that. But it's the perspective of the evolution of the human and communication is really fascinating because you look at that, you look at the Urban Dictionary, or you look at language and acronyms and different things and how even English has evolved. And some of these words are now like part of our everyday speak. Like we could send each other a text message in abbreviated language and would know exactly what one another is saying. And
Go ahead.
and I think it's pretty fun, but like, and then to transition to that, like Skibbity and Riz and all these other fun ones. I think if you use it for good, it can really do some cool things. But having that self-awareness element, ultimately, I'll be curious as you transition with your life and how this changes, because we'll have to have a follow-up, I think, about some of these things and the evolution of.
It seems like what you've, and this is me generalizing from the things that you've said, but it seems like the older kids in school are on it more.
Yes.
So, which leads, and which makes sense, but then you also say, you know, it also seems like adults are on it a lot. So it seems like it's a learned thing. Now, little fun fact. So it is so addicting because of dopamine. Have you heard that word?
Yes.
I'm sure you have. You're on social media.
Yep.
But
and you're smart.
Yeah.
You know things.
you know, but that dopamine release, and it's that happy chemical.
It is.
And the thing is that's what's happening, right? It gets released, but then your tank gets empty.
Yep.
And where does that leave you? And if you don't have a good base anyways, then it's going to leave you highly depleted.
Yes.
If you have a good base already, then you'll just be like, well, I just wasted some time.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. We'll have to do a follow-up because we still won't have kids. We'll still have to use other people's.
So when you're on a scroller coaster, right? You're scrolling, you're in that tunnel vision, and kind of tagging on what Allie's saying is, and as far as dopamine and what happens in the brain is you're like, you're riding the wave. This is great. Then all of a sudden you stop and it's like, ugh, everything's so hard. I don't have the energy to do the
or
thing.
it's like if you're scrolling too long, then you just get bored of it. Yeah. But then you don't want to get off because you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because if you get off, then it's like, I don't have anything to do.
Because you've just spent your time not thinking about what you want to do. And you think that you're magically going to stop and have something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
exactly what it is.
not how it works. Right? It's not how it works. If you don't spend any time thinking about what you want to do, you're not going to know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. Or even trying, like if you don't know and you just get up and do a thing, like try something you've never tried or go on a walk, anything.
Yeah.
But this isn't just a people in high school.
No.
Thing, right. This is a human thing. And I think it's fascinating because you hear adults say, well, my kid's on social media
all the time.
You know, like they won't.
They're
do
always on
anything.
their phone.
They're always on their phone. Blah blah blah. But then I think about it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure like most of our family members.
No, you just go out to a restaurant and you'll see.
Like
they're on their phones. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just relating to like a group of adults getting together. You go to a meeting. You go to like a family thing. At any point in time, there's going to be several people on their phone. Which is the thing that did not used to happen in the past. Or even like people sending each other like memes or something, or reels sitting right next to one another.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I think it is a cool thing. I think it's neat to be able to talk to people. I think it's neat to be able to share things. Clearly, we enjoy using it. And I think that, I honestly think that your generation will be the ones to navigate it the best in the end,
think so.
ultimately, because you see the impact of everything. You know, us and people a little older. You know, we're at that age where we didn't have the internet, and then we did, and then there's some that just didn't have the internet until they were older, and then social media, right? That was, I think, social media was like, you've heard of MySpace back in the day, so that was
still a thing.
No, So like that was the first stuff. So we were like the first at it, which typically means we're probably the worst at it, right? Like the people that do things
V1,
first
V2,
usually aren't the best. They're just the first. So I really, people, I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff when I work out. And one of the big things is, what's going to happen to the kids? Are you going to just rot away on this? And I actually have a contrarian view on that. I think that your age, you guys are going to be better at doing it. Because I think you'll see the impact over over time on people older than you, the same age as you,
And
you know, and
younger,
there's a middle
like-
ground. I mean, what you're 14,
Yeah.
40. There's almost 30 years in between us. It's like a whole person. You'd be
What?
like, by the time you're 30, woo. So you figure there's that much room in between you and us.
Uh-huh.
I actually think that you guys are going to be pretty good at it. I really do. I'm not a doomsdayer and say you're going to just have brain rot for the rest of your life. I think you guys are actually going to figure it out in a way where if some of the older generations listen, we'll probably learn. Is what I truly do
Yeah.
think. I just, and you guys have had the fact that you like, you see how fast kids are at using technology. You guys are like wizards.
It's fast.
Yeah.
It's very fast.
And
Yeah.
me, I'm like 27 cent. What, how, when,
Yeah.
you know? So I do think that there's the ebbs and flow of everything. And I'm here for this experiment. Yeah, I am.
Well, it's good to stay open. I mean, you hear these things as coming back to generations, like, well, that's not how we used to do it. Or,
Yeah.
they're never going to be able to do this and do that. And then you think, the world's going to end because we have no leadership and the youths are just on their phone. And I'm like, good Lord.
They used to say that probably about spearing saber-toothed tigers too, but we don't really have to worry about that nowadays,
Yeah.
do we?
I mean, everybody has heard the story. Well,
That person's over there playing with fire. They're never going to learn how to
Right.
spear a
Life-
saber-toothed
so
tiger.
life is so easy for you guys.
Yeah.
these
So
days.
like my mom and like we have this one teacher, he's only 10 years older than us, but he'll tell us about some of like the things that he would do in high school and you can't even think of doing that now because it's like the rules have changed so
Yeah.
much.
That's another really good point.
That's true.
The rules are. I mean, I would have gotten in so much trouble.
Yeah,
For the things that I used to do.
Toilet paper paint people's houses. Like you can't go do that now because everybody has a Ring camera or some
Yeah.
form of cameras on their house.
And then the people take it so serious. where
Yeah.
It's like it's not a joke.
And the
It's like-
kids don't go out and do anything. Well, it's because they're always being watched. It's creepy
Yeah.
and weird.
And
Well,
there's no point in doing anything.
Yeah.
So like me and my sister will go out to Walmart and we just walk around for like an hour on Friday nights or just whenever. And then like we don't have anything else to do, so we'll just drive up and down the streets doing nothing.
Dragon Maine.
Cruising.
That's something they used to do back in the 50s.
I know. My mom said like all the things that she used to do when she was younger, and I'm like, I would love to try doing those things, but you can't even think about doing it.
Yeah, that is, I have a lot of gratitude for that because, like, in high school, there weren't cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So I didn't. People did stuff that's like, good Lord, it's
Yeah.
a good thing there weren't on one side, but on the other side, I'm like, that could have been beneficial. But it also it makes you so aware of like, do you feel like sometimes because everybody has a phone, there's cameras everywhere, that you like can't be yourself or like can't do normal human things that are natural?
Sometimes, yeah. Like at school you can do whatever because like everybody's gonna like nobody's focusing on what you're doing. They're focusing on how they look themselves normally. So it's like nobody's gonna care what you do. Just like don't like do something that's gonna like affect everybody.
Yeah.
Like as long as you're not hurting other people's feelings, like nobody's gonna care. But then like outside of school, it's like everywhere there's like a camera like everywhere, and so like
Yeah.
no matter what you're doing, somebody's gonna see it eventually. So it's like you have to decide. You have to like be careful with your decisions.
Yeah, seriously, I think it amplifies mistakes in a way that's kind of
We're so
Yeah.
unfair
so
sometimes.
conscious, yeah.
You know, like if it's because humans we're mistake creatures, and that's how we learn, and that's how we go about it. So it's got to make you really self conscious and
there's-
doubt a lot of things. I wonder.
Yeah.
That's now you're sending me down a different
Yeah.
thought stream.
Yeah, well, there's
But
not
I'm
a
gonna
lot of
table it.
grace and mistakes.
Yeah.
Because like it was recorded.
Yeah.
But people make a lot of mistakes.
Seriously.
Minus the wild. That's why I'm so when we have a moment to decompress, or it's like we're not doing like there's nothing in the schedule. I don't have any responsibilities today. It's like I want to go to the wild. I want to go swim with sharks. I want to go like pet a dog or something.
go
Like,
do something.
Go do something and get out of that. But it takes a minute because people are like. It is easy to become addicted to the phone, even if it's not social media.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many different parts about that. But when you're away from your phone, it's like our phones have become part of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
when
is.
it's not with you, you feel
Like
something's
uncomfortable.
missing.
Yeah.
And that's like when you break that down, that's kind of silly.
It's
right?
kind of sad.
It
like
is.
it's like
it's very sad.
you're addicted to a device that like everybody has, but you're addicted to yours specifically because it has like your own things. in
Yeah.
it.
You like, I wouldn't want Allie's phone. If I didn't have a phone, it'd be cool to have
Yeah.
Allie's phone, but I wouldn't want her phone.
Yeah.
It's my phone or your, yeah.
I'm pretty okay at losing my phone.
Yeah, if you ever
For better or for worse.
don't ever call Allie if you need a phone a friend because she'll never answer.
Yeah.
Like,
If I do, I'll come save you. But odds are high I won't.
yeah.
How
This-
we're gonna have another experiment
Yeah,
after this.
that's
It's gonna be
exactly
great.
what
This
I
is
was
like,
just
this is
gonna
gonna lead
say.
to other experiments
Yep.
because it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have
Do
to
you have any other main things that you've learned because of this experiment specifically?
Not really, no.
No?
Like just that people are addicted to their phones too much
Mm-hmm.
and like they don't know when to just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So that's something that you're aware of.
yes.
So I'm assuming because you're an intelligent human that you're going to use the things that you're aware of to kind of dictate your actions.
yeah.
Right? Is that your goal? Your goal is
Pretty much,
to
yeah.
because you're aware of this, your goal is to be not as
Not as it like
good.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's a great outcome to this experiment, or at
I
least
think
part
so.
of it, whether it's part of the experiment or that's just an inherent part of you.
Yeah.
Either way, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun perspective to dive into. We do have to have another one of these again as you progress through high school because it's fascinating. And I think it's important to have generational friends. Like
Yeah.
so many, I view you as a friend. I think we've known one another since you were like,
I was
like
I don't
8?
even I think 8, yeah.
yeah, you were. I remember we were with Jared. We were
Oh, it's
talking
my
about
favorite thing ever. The first time we met you, it's my favorite. And I mean this to my core of my being. The first time we met you, there was a book fair
Oh
at your
yeah.
school, and you got home, and you were so juiced to get home and read the new dictionary you
Yeah.
got.
I
And I
just
thought-
got in a dictionary and I was so excited to read it.
I was so excited to hear that from you. I was like, no way, she's so stoked to go read a dictionary.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yep.
I thought it was so cool. I'm like, I wish I was excited to go read a dictionary.
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing to be
Especially
excited
at
about.
8, like it just.
You were 8?
I was 8.
We've known one another that long.
This is a long-term relationship for me.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's important to have, friends of different ages. We have friends
Yeah.
that are much older than us and again, I don't look at age as a thing. Like I did, like even when you were 8, I was like, oh, you're just a human reading a
Yeah.
dictionary. But then I'm like, oh, she's 8. Like
Yeah.
give some perspective to the situation. So it makes it easier to communicate.
It's
But
probably because we don't have kids.
it could be.
Could be.
Maybe. I don't know. I think
know?
humans are humans,
I have
but
no idea.
but yeah, that's could be a fatal flaw, but I'm really loving it.
do too.
We'll see. There's probably 2 sides to that. But I'm going to live that one because then when I'm 90, I'm like, nah, I'm like 25.
Seriously.
At least
Be
this-
rolling down the street on big wheels.
yeah.
Crazy old ladies. That's my goal. To be a crazy old lady on a tricycle
That would
running
be
down the
awesome.
street,
Yeah.
tearing up.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, but thanks for playing
Yes,
this
yeah.
experiment.
We do have the last final question. The adventure question.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. It's our final question for our
Okay.
podcast. What is your next big adventure?
I don't know.
An adventure can be anything.
It looked
I know.
Adventure looks different for everybody.
I think it's just school and like youth symphony. That's kind of
Oh,
my
nice. That's
next
right.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
your jam.
So yeah.
Are you done clogging?
Yeah,
Oh, you are?
I'm done.
You
With dance.
retired your clogger shoes?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Clogging.
Clogging shoes.
Clogging shoes.
Yeah.
I'm so
Her
glad
clogging shoes are hung up.
they-
Yes.
oh my goodness. This is great. It's great. I mean, it adds a lot of perspective to our listeners
Yes.
when we can share these things.
The clogging thing was pretty
The
cool.
clogging is legit.
It's fun and I would love to do it again. It's just it wasn't like it got boring after a while like cuz they didn't it wasn't challenging me enough.
Oh,
And Symphony, you're doing the
Symphony,
violin,
Yep, violin.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
which is,
We'll have to come to some of your stuff. I love music so much.
I tried it the other day when we went over to their house.
Oh yeah,
Violin.
she tried my
I've
violin.
never tried the violin, but it always looks cool.
Yeah.
Like Lindsay Sterling, and she dances around like a crazy person.
Yeah,
and,
and
it's
then
awesome.
my grandma and I went and saw Jenny Oaks Baker, and she does a lot of things that Lindsay Sterling does, but she
nice.
doesn't she's not dancing across the stage and everything. Like she's more
Yeah.
relaxed with
Lindsay Sterling is really amped
it.
up lately.
She really is.
Have you been to one of her concerts?
I have
Oh,
not.
maybe that's what we'll have to do. Oh, that would be awesome.
Seriously.
I would love that.
Yeah. But thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
thanks a zillion. unless there's anything else you want to add, I think we are
Yeah.
wrapping this up.
Alrighty.
Thanks to everybody that tuned in to Frank and Honest.
Yeah. And we just encourage having conversations that are curious like this with people that are all different ages.
Yes.
Instead of just saying, hey, you're stuck on your phone all day, maybe ask why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe dig a little deeper. So have a curious conversation with somebody
Yeah. And
about maybe about social media, maybe about, hey, do you know a good trail?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
encourage curious conversations.
And speaking of social media, if you really like this, give us some likes, some shares.
Yeah,
share with
get
your
on
friends,
it
get
long
on
enough.
Share it.
Yeah,
enough,
yeah.
to help us out. And that's a wrap.
Yep.
Thank you to our sponsor, Radon Professionals. Radon Professionals specializes in radon testing and mitigation. Serving all of Idaho and Wyoming, Radon Professionals can help you breathe the healthiest air on the block. For more info, check out our website at radon-professionals.com.